Welcome to Hall County Connection. I'm your host, Nikki Young. Today we're going to show you how to research your roots with the help of Hall County government. Genealogy resources are available at the library, the probate court, the clerk of court's deed room, the health department, and other county departments. To make it fun, we've asked Sheriff Steve Cronick to join us for our own version of celebrity genealogy shows that are so popular right now. Sheriff Cronick's roots run deep in Northeast Georgia, so we're taking him on a tour of government facilities to find out more about his family history. First joining us is Rhonda Sanders. She is the genealogy and local history librarian for the Hall County Library System. She's going to tell us how to find out more about our family history and why genealogy is so popular right now. So we've seen all these popular shows these days about like Who Do You Think You Are on NBC, and PBS has Faces of America.
Right.
Why is genealogy such a fad right now?
Well, you got to remember, it's been around for a long time. I mean, the Bible had, what, 80 or 90 generations between Adam and Jesus that they listed, so it's been around for a while. It's just now people are having more time since they're retiring. We're getting where a lot more people are retired. More things are available through the internet, so they can find them that way. People are just really proud of their heritage, and they're just wanting to show it off nowadays, so that's why.
So aside from curiosity's sake and just wanting to know what your roots are, what are some of the practical reasons that people would look up their genealogy?
Well, practical is medical. We've always known that you need to tell your doctor if you had a history of heart problems or certain types of cancer. The Surgeon General has even gotten to the point now where he has on his web page where you can fill out a medical history and take it into your doctor to show them, so they know whether they need to be checking you for heart disease ahead of time or for different types of cancer tests before they would normally be running those on you. There's also the fact that a lot of people want to join different organizations such as the United Daughters of the Confederacy or the American Revolution, and you got to remember money's tight right now, and those places offer some great college scholarships for the grandkids and whatnot.
So there can be financial benefits to knowing your roots.
Plus, you know, everybody needs a little scandal. Something going on in the family
You particularly like scandal. You're always looking for the dirt on people, Rhonda.
That's what makes it interesting.
It does, it does.
I mean, everybody can have a boring life. You need to have at least one moonshiner or something in the family.
It's the skeletons in the closet that make it interesting.
Yes, they do.
So I know that like my grandmother and my aunts and everybody are really interested in genealogy, but there are some younger folks interested in it too, right?
We actually have one. Her name is Ellie, and she's 5 years old.
5 years old?
5 years old. She goes downstairs with her mother, and they go to story time. Then Ellie brings her mother upstairs, and they do genealogy. Now you might think, okay, the kid's sitting here and coloring while mom's doing genealogy. I gave the kid a family tree, one of our blank pedigree charts. She set down the pencil and filled it in for me. Now, her handwriting was too big to get the dates and all the births and everything in there, but she got everybody's names in there perfectly for me and brought it up to me to show me, proud as she could be, that she was doing her genealogy.
That's amazing. Wow. So what are the folks like who come here mostly? Who fills up the genealogy tables in here?
We have everything. We have people who are wanting to prove that they're related to a very famous person, grandmothers who now have time and want to do scrapbooking for their grandchildren and show them what the past generations are like and what's going on now in their lives. People who just want interesting stories about their families, or even people who just want to read the old newspapers and see what was going on at different times, like during the 36 tornado. So it's a very wide variety of people in here.
Well, I know it's always covered up when I come in here, but especially during Sitting Up with the Dead. Tell us about that. That's a really cool event.
We have that on Friday the 13th. There's usually 2 of those a year. Our next one's going to be August the 13th.
Okay.
You do register in advance, and we bring in supper that evening from a local deli. People can start coming in at noon, but we actually stay open for that event for genealogists who pre-registered until midnight. And it turns into a big party. People are hooping and hollering and having a fantastic time, finding out all sorts of information. You might actually run into a cousin that you didn't know existed who's already got some research done. Y'all can compare notes and extend your family trees. People who are looking for photographs of old people from this area who've been here generations back, sometimes we can find some of those for them. I found one lady she literally had me up in her arms doing a bear hug, jumping up and down with me. She was so happy.
People get excited about this.
People get extremely excited about this. I mean, it literally is a huge party, and they hoop and holler and we just have a great time.
And that's the good thing about the event, is it gets lots of people together who are already excited about it, and they can kind of network and share information.
And they feed off each other. It's just fantastic.
Well, that sounds like fun. You also have a big coffin sitting out in the front of the room, right?
We do. We actually have
usually
a
the
coffin.
focal point.
That's our advertisement. They know as soon as they see the coffin to come up, that's the time they're supposed to be registering for it. And we do.
It's a little morbid, Rhonda.
Well, actually, we thought about having a name the person in the coffin contest, but we haven't done that yet.
I like it. I like it. Well, tell me some of the other spots in the county to go if you're researching your family history besides the library.
Okay, you'll want to check out the probate office, the courthouse for the marriages. You want to find birth records if you can over at the health department. Always get the deeds, and we have it here. We have the newspapers. You'll want to do that because that can lead you into other places if you can find marriage records, birth announcements, that type thing. Don't forget your tax records. People were notorious for forgetting to pay taxes way back when, so you might not be able to find a whole lot of information about them, but at least you could prove they were still living in the area during a time period, so that would let you know you are looking in the right areas. Also, if they were had a barbershop license, something like that, check old licenses. Those are great resources.
So lots of government documents that you can uncover your family history.
Don't just go mainstream and go wills and births and marriages. Expand.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for your help today, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you. To kick off our tour, Rhonda showed Sheriff Steve Cronick how to navigate the library's resources in his quest to learn more about his family history.
We appreciate your help. They've been, we're getting an education on how to research family histories, and I know they sent some information over ahead of time, and you've got some things to share with me.
Yes, I'm so glad you sent over your book that your family's been working on. They have done a fantastic job, and what I did was I took some of the information out of there and put it in a family tree. This is what most people do. It's called a pedigree chart, and you do it in pencil because things are constantly finding new things, changing dates, and that's what we've done here. You're right here on this line.
Okay.
Your information, then your wife, and wife down here, your parents and your grandparents and grandparents as we know them. So your parents were married in Dawsonville. Then we have Jackson County, and your family seems to stay a lot in Jackson County.
Now, is this something that anybody can come in and get, or